Okay,
Hola, buenos días.
turning to our Thursday morning business
Sí,
chat.
dígame.
We are now complete with the Empower series. Thank you, everyone. You guys were amazing. And I think those that did the review got the best benefits. So it will definitely affect your business and your life. Okay, so Gregory has some things to share. Does anyone else want to share any business topics, testimonials before we jump in?
I just want to say something about vibrant living, which is that 9 months ago, I invited a friend and she rang me last night saying, yep, I've been enjoying the vibrant living community and I'm ready for the X39. She signed up as a customer. So,
Yay.
and thinking of doing, the business. So she wants her experience first, of course. So yay for vibrant living.
And I'm going to jump off on that one because Helen and I and Wendy are all admins. I don't know if any of our other admins are on. And, we review that site often and it's a juicy place. There's really good stuff going on there. And if you're not participating, miss out because people are making really beautiful posts. And what we want, and we're going to start doing contests in our Live Younger group. We want more stories and more photos that do not mention the company or the product, but your results using light therapy, stem cell activation, whatever you want, but just not mention what it is, because its purpose is just what Helen said, is to acquire customers, and it builds relationships. It's a community that really holds people. So customers are, it's a great place to add customers so they feel supported and part of something, because right now people need connection and we've got a great vehicle for that.
And maybe that's a good springboard for, something I wanted to talk about. And I think that, from all the work, thank you again, Helen, and everyone that,
Tim, Michelle,
Helen, but,
Wendy.
is Helen, your idea, and Tim for, review of the Empower series. And one of the things I think we learned in there is the importance of storytelling. Okay. And I think, in one of our upcoming Monday evening calls, we're going to have an expert storyteller do more training on storytelling because, stories work, stories sell. Information tells, stories sell. It sounds cliche, but it's really a fact. And, and so if we could load up Vibrant Living with stories and pictures, someone will go to Vibrant Living and go, oh my God,
I want that.
what did you do to get that? And we just don't say Eon or X39 or LifeWave. We just tell about the results. Oh my God, I had lumpuckaroo and I use this, breakthrough in light therapy. And oh my gosh, my lumpuckaroo's gone, or whatever else you have. Yeah, lumpuckaroo, that's my favorite
Wendy's
disease.
gonna run on that one. The wheels turning.
But so I wanted to put our focus this morning on the concept of gifting storytelling for the holidays, because for those of us here in the US, next Thursday, we won't be having this call with each other. We'll probably be breaking bread, eating turkey with family or friends.
If our refrigerator comes.
If our refrigerator
And our
comes.
dishwasher.
Sidebar note, our refrigerator died a week after our refrigerator.
No, days.
Days after the dishwasher,
And
right on schedule. They're both 20 years old.
and with the building boom, appliances are
Yeah.
not easy to come by.
Anyway,
so.
so I wanted to just, share some ideas on what to say, what not to say at Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm gonna start with a little joke somebody told me that it's probably not a joke, it's probably a for real thing. You know how you can minimize the number of Christmas presents you have to buy? Talk politics at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
So we are living in a time and land of turmoil, and we intentionally, as you know, we don't talk politics, sex, or religion on our calls. Okay, there's a lot of things we talk about, and there's some things we don't, and some of those things are probably best off because Robin and I don't agree on everything, but we're in love and we agree to disagree sometimes. But one of the things you could talk about Thanksgiving dinner is stories that you've heard, miraculous stories that you've heard people with lumpuckaroo and all kinds of other things, you could casually bring it up, how you doing, how you feeling, and everybody's going to share. It's a time for loving, caring, and sharing. And we have something that everybody should know about. So your challenge is, and maybe that could be the topic of discussion this morning, is how to broach that subject in a non-offensive way, because you probably all heard Robin's story. When she first got in network marketing, she was so excited about the products that she alienated her whole family. That evangelical, excitement that we elude when we find something as amazing as LifeWave, as X39.
And it's the reason that you hear me over and over and over again promote Darren Hardy, Making the Shift. If you haven't listened to it, it's in the units section. Please listen to it. Excuse me. If you're new to network, if you have someone who's new, make sure they listen to it, because they can avoid the landmines that I stepped in, all of them. I had no training. I just stepped in all the landmines. So that's why I love Darren Hardy so much. It's over an hour. It's well worth the time. I've listened to it dozens of times, and I highly recommend everyone, because being over effusive is what gives our profession a bad name for a lot of people. Oh, it's one of those networkers. Stay away. They're going to throw up all over me. And that's what, if we're not trained properly, it's easy to do. So what Gregory's talking about is planting seeds. I call it the potato chip theory. Having people want more. We just, as Phil Jones says it so beautifully, is we're creating curiosity and intrigue so that people want to come to us. We don't have to go to them. So someone said, please repeat the name of the publication. Hi, Kyra. It's called, if you go to YouTube and search Darren Hardy Making the Shift, or go to our unit section in our Facebook group, and it's all in there also. Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. And Sam said, it cured my lumpuckaroo. Okay, new disease name. That's great.
So, so what Robin said, finish it up and then pass it on to the group. This is a season to sow seeds. Probably at the Thanksgiving table, you're not going to be harvesting much, but there's an opportunity to tactfully sow seeds of interest and do your follow-up work later. Maybe it's a time to give some people home with some gifts, et cetera. But I just kind of like to set that up and open it up for discussion of ideas anyone would like to share on how to broach this wonderful subject of photobiomodulation, LifeWave, et cetera, when you're sitting around the table with some of your most trusted and cherished friends and family.
I'll get the ball rolling. Just share a personal story of what you can do that you couldn't do before. Like, I'm so excited that, I was telling someone yesterday that after my 3-month follow-up post-op from my knee replacement, and Gregory post his, cancer seminar, we went to Yellowstone Park and we walked 10,000. It's huge for us, both of us, to be able to do that. We're strong and healthy again, and we're both, still in our healing journey, but we're way along and we're doing great. And that's, people want to know that. They really do, because they love you and care about you. So what are you going to share?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just want to remind people, and especially new people who don't have a story yet, it's also wonderful to share other people's stories, so.
Thank you, Helen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just heard about, this dog coming back to life.
Yes.
Animal stories are really safe.
So true.
Oh, losing you. Can't hear you.
What?
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, good.
How
Okay.
about we all wear our X39 on our third eye? Then the best stuff.
What is that?
Absolutely, you know?
Yeah.
And you know those little attention getter stickers, the ones that people think are patches that
Yeah.
aren't.
Yeah.
I know. I
that's
used
true.
to think that they were just like, you can put them on the back of an envelope, to help seal it.
Uh-huh.
I found out, oh, those are awesome. I love them.
You know, I know people that wear them, not necessarily that obvious, but like on their hand or something that is obvious, but
Your
not.
wrist. Show them your wrist.
Oh,
Yes.
On this part. Eon.
Mhm.
got my energy patches on. So, but just
Yeah.
making it subtle but obvious.
Mhm.
Yeah, the SP6 on the wrist spot, for and reaching for something and saying, I'm just going to have a little tiny piece of pumpkin pie because I have this I have this wonderful patch that helps me to not overeat and not overindulge in sugar. It's really helped my sugar cravings
Maybe we should.
because it has.
God, I hope so.
And patches, people are used to patches because nicotine patch has been around forever. So you say a patch and, people think they don't need to know it's photobiomodulation, but you could just say you're wearing this patch to help control that. That's a really smart idea, Michelle. Mhm.
Or I'm wearing the Eon patch because being with family is stressful.
Yeah.
Oh, you could walk around the table and put one on everybody. Say,
Not a bad idea.
Actually-
That's an idea.
here, I'm thankful for you. Bam.
You know David Jumper's story? David Jumper is a top income earner in the company. He does not like public speaking, but he's forced to do it. And so when he does group meetings, when everyone walks in the room, he puts an Eon on them. He has one on himself. You know how when you start out in a meeting and people are, cross-armed, what are you trying to sell me now? And
Mhm.
he puts the Eon patch, and 15 minutes into the meeting, everyone's talking, they're relaxed, they're open, they're receptive. So if you're a massage therapist or a practitioner, it's a really smart thing to put on your client or patient for
Mm.
them to get maximum receptivity of whatever the work is. So the Eon patch is really amazing.
Mhm. Yes, it is. That's true. Can I?
Go ahead.
Who wanted to share?
How do you deal with the fact that you're maybe just starting your healing journey or early on to it? And so everybody it's like, well, you're not healed yet. They're, they don't know that they buy in because, you're not jumping up and down now. You're not off oxygen.
Who would like to respond to that?
I can tell you what we say.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Because we're in our 70s, my husband and I both. He's a retired oral surgeon. He did all the research. I am a consumer from the start, so I jumped right on this patch. But he said, "No, I got to research it." So we neither one feel that we've had a great story to tell. But he said, "I believe in the research. I know it's working. I might not feel it," and that's really been pretty, good for all of us to say. And it's been slow. I've had to add other patches to really get some benefits that I am seeing. But that's been our best thing is, I believe in the research. I mean, it's there, it's on the web.
Great.
The
Well,
other thing when they're waiting for you saying, oh, well, how come, you're not walking on water yet? Why should I do it? That's when, I love the idea of the testimonial pages. And I have one, there's many groups that have them. And that's always, pretty much in my first part of my spiel, I guess, is, don't take my word for it, come and
Mhm.
see what others are experiencing. And then, add, do the ATM method, add, tag, and message them back. So then they're really seeing other people, not just depending on what your results are.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
What was the ATM again? Add?
Add, tag, and message. So add them to
Tag.
tag them on a good post, or maybe there's one that relates to what they're going through, and then message them, just start the follow-up, start the dance.
Mhm.
I like that. Another one I've used when people say, well, you're not perfect. It's like, but look how far I've come.
Mhm.
I'm not great, but I'm not using a cane every day either. So that's amazing.
And if you're in the beginning of your healing journey and you don't have any life altering results, you could just lean on, I've come across something that's, incredibly well researched. I'm starting to use, and you might be interested in knowing about it also, because I'm very excited. Express your excitement, enthusiasm about your anticipated results. And that's because, God, the results I'm hearing other people are having are just absolutely amazing.
And-
So, don't try and make it something it's not yet, but share your appreciation for the depth of the research and the results that you've been witnessing in other people.
And if you
Gregory,
know-
that's called Nicodonia,
What is
which
that?
is Nicodonia. That's what it's called, Nicodonia, which is your anticipation for amazing things that are about to happen. So we're experiencing Nicodonia. Yeah, baby.
Ooh, I love that.
Nicodonia to get rid of my lumpuckaroo.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That could be the
we-
subject of
we got
discussion.
it.
Yeah, and then I remind people that it took you sometimes decades to get where you're at. So
Yep.
hello, give it a little chance. There's a money back guarantee. See what happens. Look at your health chart and notice, because sometimes people just aren't good unless they track it. They'll forget, So reminding them to look at their health tracker helps.
And I'm thinking back to maybe it was last Thanksgiving when Karen, I don't think Karen's on the line with us here today.
She has
She was out, with her family, she was patching everybody and everybody was loving getting patched. So, I don't know, your relationship with friends and family might be different, but well, if they're coming to your house, you have your stuff, but if you're going to their house, don't leave home without it, I guess.
Actually, Karen's story is that her family was resistant, and then they started having results with patches, like her daughter slammed her hand in the car door and another thing happened. And so she just patched them. And then her granddaughter at a family dinner said, Grandma, I bet you're really happy because everyone's talking about patches because they weren't receptive before. It's kind of like my family,
Yeah.
So what I wanted to share was, if they have a certain lumpuckaroo, whatever their issue is, and you've heard a story about that, if you can relate to their issue, the receptivity increases tremendously. Like, my sister has not been open, but I had just heard a story from a friend who's 70 years old, and her bone density tremendously improved. And she's doing X39. And my sister just got a diagnosis, doesn't want to go on meds. I happened to tell her that story, and that's what put her over the edge.
Wow. Yay, Robin.
That's
Yeah,
good.
and I talked to her a few days ago. She goes, it's not working. I'm not noticing anything. It's been like 2 days,
I have a question for Sam. Sam, when you said testimonials, sharing testimony, did you mean that you kind of have a bunch of them in your mind, or do you mean that you point them to your page and so they can look
Yes.
at the testimonials?
Yes, I am referring to various Facebook groups that are dedicated solely to testimonials. I started doing that with another company that I ended up becoming the top income earner. And when I say that, it wasn't like it was Herbalife or some giant company, but it was my first time after 20 years having that kind of success. And I did it because I'd created a testimonial page where I told my team, and then we all started inviting people. And so we invited our prospects. Hey, don't word for it, but would it be okay if I invited you to this private group page where you can just be a fly on the wall and see what others are experiencing? And so, of course, I carried that over to this as well. And I have since, I'm always stalking people. That's how I found Robin and Gregory. I stalk everybody, especially our wonderful upline. So I'm always finding different testimonial pages too. And so that's what I use. I the ones that are dedicated just to testimonials. There's no questions. If you have good admin, I would think everybody else does the same thing. If somebody's asking, how do I do this? Admins always make sure, this isn't a fishing pond. We always make sure that we get you back to the person who invited you.
Thank you,
So
Sam. That's exactly what Vibrant Living is 100% about. It was built for that business model. Yeah.
And my concern, I'll be honest, is a lot of the Facebook pages are really non-compliant. So if you're hosting one, just make sure that there's no disease states and guide people. I send private messages every day from our Live Younger and from Vibrant Living, to make sure people understand that. And typically people just don't know, they're innocent. So I'm very nice about it, but I say, could you please restate that with just symptoms?
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for understanding, because we want to be compliant. So that's wonderful, Sam. I love it.
And
And I recommend re-listening to Dr. Hubbard, right? Where he talks about how it doesn't matter what is that word, Gregory?
Buckaroo.
It's about bringing the body to homeostasis.
yes.
So focusing on bringing the body to homeostasis.
And Dr. Jeff just talked about that a
That's
couple of
what she
nights ago.
said.
Oh, Dr. Hubbard. Oh, that's right. Hubbard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so anyways, if you haven't had a chance to see it, highly recommend it. And it said go to YouTube and Google Live Younger. Search Live Younger with no space and you can hear that, because I thought it was great.
Actually, you can go to liveyoungeryoutube.com.
There
It
you
takes
go.
you right there. You don't have to search. liveyoungeryoutube.com.
And that call from Tuesday night was up.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
That was our Tuesday night doctor call.
Yeah, but it was such a switch, really, if we could just gather the energy for our team, to really get that. It's not you do this for that, it's you do this and all that can happen.
That's good. This for that, all that. So
So-
we're going to take next Thursday off.
And then the
And then-
following Thursday, we'll hear all the Thanksgiving sharing stories.
And so who's up for sharing a Thanksgiving? Raise your hand.
Mhm.
Guys, all right.
All right.
So
Oh,
we're
dear.
gonna have some great stories in 2 weeks from today, and cross your fingers that our dishwasher and refrigerator get installed in the next few days.
We don't have to use paper plates.
Yeah, the dishwasher was a ½ inch too high.
Oh,
But
Working on it.
you can actually get the appliances, correct?
Yeah.
You can actually get them.
Get
There
one.
was a shortage for a while of appliances.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is a
There
shortage.
is. right
Yeah,
now.
there is.
Yeah.
It's
Because of
serious.
the pound-demic.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Pandemic, right.
Okay, well, have a
Buckaroo.
wonderful holiday, everybody. We are so grateful for you, and we'll start talking gratitudes in our following calls, like we like to do at this time of year. And thank you all for being here and sharing the great news, because we need your voices. That's how this works, is sharing and caring. So have a wonderful one, everybody.
bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.